Alright, so today I'm at the Graham Academy getting ready for class, transplanting some marigolds. This is Durango Outback Mix from Johnny Select Seeds. And we're going from these 6-packs, which can fit six packs in one tray. So that's 36 plants per tray. And now we're going into these, I believe they're 3.5 by 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches deep. And we fit 18 of these per tray. So we're giving the plants double the amount of room, more space, so more sunlight, more airflow, obviously more soil, more room to grow their roots, which also means balancing moisture is going to be easier. And we added some organic fertilizer this time to our potting mix. And some compost. So this time the soil is a little more nutritious. Now those red gem marigolds have been transplanted 3 times. Or excuse me, the Durango marigolds here have been transplanted 3 times. They started off being germinated just like these peppers are here. Germinated very close together. Just like these broccoli plants are being germinated closely together. Then you wait until they get their first true leaf or true adult leaf. There. And on these peppers here. So just like these plants here, these are obviously different plants. They're first transplanted into a small 6-pack container. And I think that is 60 plants per tray. Then they're transplanted into either a bigger, a 48 plant per tray, like these red gem marigolds, or they go straight into the larger size, which is 36 plants per tray. So what we're doing today here is I'm taking these red gem marigolds and well, this one's not too bad. Some of these are pretty root bound. The red gem marigolds are going from the 48 plants per tray to the 36 plants per tray, giving them a little bit more room. The Durango Outback Mix, you can tell this. You can tell that they're running out of space because they're starting to flower. First of all, so a plant will try to go to seed when it's under stress. Some of the leaves are turning red or fading. So I think red is a sign of low phosphorus, but it could also mean a lot of other things. And then you'll notice also when a plant gets stressed out, it will start, instead of having leaves that are folded out this way and flat facing the sun, you'll notice that the leaves kind of are starting to point upwards like that. The plant will become elongated and skinny, and the bottom branches will start dying off, or the bottom leaves will start dying off and dropping leaves. So that's just a kind of a pretty common sign of being root bound or stressed out and dealing with a problem related to the fact that they weren't transplanted. And again, we have all these roots hitting the bottom and circling. Let's pull out one of them that's ready to flower and see if it's even worse. And I'll just do one example here to show you what I do. Now I try to recycle my soil as long as I don't have disease problems. Year to year though, I do try to use new soil. So I'm trying to do this with one hand, but the first thing I do is break apart the bottom of the root mass to correct to get rid of all those tangled roots. And I knock off a little bit of the soil, and then I go, I apologize for not being able to have two hands here, and I just kind of pinch off some of the roots. Now you don't have to take off, if you have more space and you have the means to transplant into bigger, slightly bigger pots, you don't have to take off as much roots as I'm doing. So I might even take off a little bit more, but for this purpose, so I keep a little bit of soil around the roots, try to keep a root ball. I have these containers filled up about halfway. And I just kind of, sometimes I'm a little more delicate, but I just kind of wiggle the roots in there a little bit, grab some more soil. Oops. Cover the roots with more soil. Stand it up, push it down. I don't pack it down too tightly because that can lead to problems. But I don't want the plant falling over. Okay, great. So now I'm just going to keep going and turning all of these 36 per plant per tray into 18 plants per tray. After this step, I'll water them, and I will also take some wood chips, some mulch, and I always cover the tops of the soil with mulch or some kind of wood chip, and that prevents the sunlight and your grow lights or whatever you're using from drying out the top surface of the soil. It also supports the soil microbiology, keeping the soil more evenly moist, protecting from the wind of the fan that you might have in your grow room. Or if you're in a greenhouse, obviously the strong sunlight. And we'll end the video here with these larger tomato plants. And I don't like having tomato plants this big this early in the year. It is March 14th. You can see the leaves, they don't look totally right to me. They're a little too thin. I would actually bet some money that if I see this little baby tomato plant here, if I just cut down this big guy and allowed this baby one to grow, I would probably have a healthier plant come May than if I try to keep this big one alive. Doesn't seem believable, but it is pretty true. You have to keep transplanting your plants to keep vigorous growth and to avoid disease problems. So next we'll be doing some cauliflower, some peppers, and also transplanting this other type of marigold, red gem. My favorite. And the fans will be turning on pretty soon here. And we'll make another video someday about what's under those miniature greenhouse tents. They are all filled with plants. Here we are at the Graham Academy School Garden. Please let me know if you like this video. If you'd like me to create a different style of video, if there's anything you request, let me know how I'm doing. The more feedback you give me, the better I can do to give you what you want.